Welcome back to my story. This is part 10. Junior year, I moved out of the dorms into my own single studio apartment. And I got to dress all the time I wanted to. I never had an opportunity to dress for Halloween that year, but I had a great time. Senior year rolled around, and my friend and I were talking. She went to another university, and we talked about Halloween. And she said, "Why don't you come up here?" And I said, "Oh, what should I be?" And she said, "What if you would be my sorority sister?" And I was like, "That sounds like fun." So I talked to her and we were talking, and I said, "Well, what do they wear?" And she said, "They wear red." And I was like, "Okay, fantastic." And so I went to the store with an ex-girlfriend and bought a beautiful short red dress. I went up to my friend's university with that dress and the wigs and all the stuff I had, and I got there and she said, "Oh," he's like, "Well, you can do that, or I also have this French maid dress that I had a costume one year that I wore, and you can try that if you want." And I'd always wanted to try the French maid dress, so I did, and it was way too small for me. So I ended up going with the short red dress that I had, being her sorority sister. We we went around party to party. I was trying to keep up with my friend. I didn't realize that her alcohol tolerance was much, much better than mine. She was drinking and I would follow. Every time she drank, I drank. And we were drinking jungle juice. And she was fine. I was a mess. This is one of the only times in my life that I remember passing out drunk and not remembering it. And I remember very, very little pieces of that night. I remember being in the quad of the school, well, just because I couldn't move for a little while. I remember talking to a guy at a party. Apparently he was flirting with me, and apparently maybe I was flirting back. I remember laying in the car on the way back to her apartment, and I threw up. It was an awful, crazy night, but it was still so much fun. I woke up the next morning on the floor of her room with all of my clothes still on. It was quite quite a mess. So, but I had a wild night, a wild time that I'll never ever forget. My story is to be continued.